There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find a way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. They say that silence cannot be misquoted, but at times silence is very loud. So what does it mean when they ghost you without a word? They just go quiet on you. That is our conversation for today. And just in case you have found yourself in this situation, you might want to move closer and get to hear what we have to say about this right here on the Benjamin Zulu Global. My good name is Nick. And when I think about someone just ghosting you without a word, what comes to mind is maturity of that person. You know, it speaks volumes about their maturity and even the level of respect that they had for you or towards you. So what does ghosting without a word mean? What does it say about their maturity?
Yeah, it's a form of avoidance. And clearly, it's immature. Today we are talking about when you haven't done anything clearly wrong.
Right.
Sometimes you can hurt people so embarrassingly, and they don't see a point of engaging you, because you cannot accommodate a different perspective. This lady said that this guy hurt him, and she went around telling his friends and neighbors his secrets, including the bed game, and now they have reconciled, and she's wondering, will he find out? So, if you deal with toxic people like that, and they go that far to ruin your reputation, why would you bother sitting that kind of person down? They don't have the capacity. Today we are talking when you have not done anything you can pin.
Right.
There wasn't even a disagreement. Why does it hurt? It hurts so bad because your hopes were high, you were connecting, there was so much you agreed on. You are building together. I just want you to know that it is heart-wrenching to be somebody withdraws their affection, their presence, their attention without notice. It's disorienting.
Right.
It's people who are doing an experiment of they bring their pet in between, a cruel experiment, put the dog in between, and both of you run in opposite directions.
And then they see who the pet will follow.
Surely that's too fast for the dog to even decide. That's too sudden.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing. Most of the dogs ended up just doing spins. So just back in there, what are we doing? I just want, well, so you are left spinning like the poor dog. You know, somebody just vanishes. And you know, emotionally, that's like, it's only them you were that connected to.
Yeah, yeah.
So when the ripping you feel is personal. Where does this come from, and how shall you heal? And I want to disappoint you. The first thing is, many times these people, you have exceeded their expectations. In physics, they told you water finds its level when you put it in the same container that has many shapes going up. Curved this way, so whatever shape that water will find somewhere, uniform level. People's minds and levels of maturity are like water, and it always finds its level. Before you got into anything personal, remember the principle of maintaining relationships pure, so that when you get into a relationship, this is the first time you have an inside view of each other's life. This is the first time you can study who this person is. You are not, I've decided I'm marrying you, let's just do everything. No. After we agree into a relationship to work towards marriage, it's also a time of learning from the inside now. This is the time for role play. When I role play your husband, I see, you know that people are very composed until you get into love with them. their triggers now flare. Some people are composed, they're not healed, they suppressed it.
Yeah.
They never healed, they suppressed it. But the father who never noticed them, the parent who always compared them unfavorably with the other sisters, the mother-in-law to their mother who they were named after and who their mother couldn't stand, therefore always projected a hatred. This naming after other ancestors really has brought us a lot of problems. People transfer what they felt about that person
to you, yeah.
Or they favor you too much. You're named after their mother, so they make you the mom. They bring you gifts, mom. The other siblings hate you, so they punish you for being dad's mom. You give him preferential treatment.
Yeah.
That mom might not be on earth, and your dad unconsciously transfers his wishes for mom
to you.
You know, what does that do to the siblings? So you are the one loved one. You will see. So they start calling you names, putting you down, and you are punished for nothing. People can come up with those kind of insecurities until they're 28 and you're dating them now. Previously upon them at work, composed. You know, sometimes work doesn't trigger our personal life. We manage to compartmentalize. Being an active church girl doesn't trigger us many times. We can manage friendships without being triggered. We can manage. Most of people's life we can manage. None of it really goes there until you get into a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
That's why I want you to keep that relationship observatory, discerning, because people can flare to a psychotic episode just because you took them now to a love place where another ex hurt them, where another dad abandoned them, where they are not even sure they're lovable, where they're not sure whether you will stay, where they don't believe people stay, where they don't think you really love them. Brothers in particular, when you fall in love, it's very hard to control yourself. But I want you to control yourself because some of these women change to another creature the moment you get into love with them. It's easier to pull out when you have not eaten her cake, so it doesn't appear like you are coming for that one day.
Yeah.
It's a very damaging accusation. And sometimes you are sharing that secret against a community where you're not supposed to do it. So if they expose you, they also hurt you.
Yeah.
You do that thing in secret, you are forced to keep that secret, marry them, you marry a wrong person because you did what? Bro, be wiser. So you can positively shock people. When they get into a relationship with you and your dreams are bigger than they ever imagined. You know, when you're not personal, you don't tell people your goals. You could be seated here unassumingly and you're planning on buying an Audi Q6. You love Germany machines. And where you're loving Germany machines, the context completely, that's outrageous. You thinking of multi-million car? Yeah, I've also been checking plots in Ruda. Plots where? Unique people can get into a relationship with you, and when they know your personal goals, they're intimidated.
Yeah.
Do you know some of the people who you see around acting polite and getting along? Their dying wish, which they must accomplish, is to be the director of a regional company. They would like to move goods worth billions. Somebody wants to be the leading exporter, supplier of Kenchik. I have heard people say dreams and you get a little bit dizziness to wrap your head around that. But previously they were not sharing that. So it's possible they got in your life. And when they listened to the things you're attracted to, Simeon holding a normal baby, normal looking baby, carried by a very young couple who just came to do census, to do what the custom requires, to register the child. Simeon pronounces things. This child is meant for the rising and falling of many in Israel. And there he prays a prayer that must have shocked the two young people. They are said, Lord, your servant has seen. You are Christ. You cannot let your servant to die in peace. Imagine somebody saying they were waiting to see your child to die. Some of these people look very ordinary, yet they are meant for the disruption of the hierarchy of that day. It says another place, when the parents of Moses saw that he was a fair child, they hid him. Okay, doesn't mean their children aren't fair or beautiful or attractive, but when the parents of this child, the fair there for me means there appeared to be something more. Sometimes there's something more to you.
Yeah.
And when a person gets into a relationship with you, it becomes so apparent. And they can't admit, that's too much for me. They can't say that.
So they just go quiet.
They don't even have a mistake to pick. They don't have anything can cook up. You know, sometimes you love people so well, you scare them.
Yeah.
You support them, you show her, you keep your word, you inspire them, you encourage them, Let me tell you another secret. I want you to try and keep your conscience clean so that when you stand before big opportunities, you can actually go into them. The day you start doing small secret things that nibble away at your confidence, the day you meet a good person who looks like unreal, like you meet a man who cannot think evil. You know, there are people like that. Who can't cheat, who can't lie. You even hear women come to you to ask what you did to your husband because they tried him unawares to you.
And he did not fall for that trap.
You know, you're hearing positive rumors. Now forget the other rumors of secrets. You're hearing rumors of, hey, what did you do with your man? I saw it's very different. A different observer watching in an environment of where people are being sensual and the person kept their dignity. If you remember things that make you feel dirty, you will run away. Jonique, stop asking, how will people see me? Ask yourself, how will I see me? But they don't tell us that you are your own witness. The first witness of whatever you do is you.
Yeah.
And you will remember it. And your self-condemning voices, we all have them. We now have tangible evidence to tell you, you're going for this interview as who? You should not ask for this kind of pay. You don't deserve it. Look at what you did. Look at how you messed up. Now go back. Stop expecting anything. You don't deserve it. If your condemning voice has solid evidence, you're finished. So I want you to do what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, when I finish the reins of this office, I want to have one friend left, and that is my conscience. Abraham Lincoln said, my wish is that I don't do corrupt things that will haunt me when I finish my leadership. Try. You may not perfect, but if you're intentional and whenever you trip, you come back to your senses, confess it, release it, and you will have a peaceful conscience. People run away when you surprise them that you are going farther than they thought.
Yeah.
And they have not come back. The second reason people ghost without a word is when they were looking to play games. But you are too serious. Those who want to play games don't say it. They just speak the same things. Everybody else is saying, I only want serious. I want if I find women in particular have played with men since times immemorial because, again, the emotional literacy of men is very small. A woman who says, I love you too, the guy can't tell is that honest or not. He feels every cell vibrating. The moment a woman he crashed on says, I love you too. And she whispers this on the phone. Bro, don't stay to love on the phone. She's whispering in your ear. That is too stimulating. We don't do that in life except in bedroom. Phone resembles bedroom. Avoid bedroom. Bedroom conversation, too stimulating. Don't call her when she has go to bed. Just little bit here. She's showing all these goodies. Come we sleep, I'm missing. Don't go there, bro. You're hypnotizing yourself. Don't draw on our Instagram photos. Send me something sexy. Then she sends you. Then you no, bro. Stay out here. Watch for who she is. Her sexual energy is so strong. If you focus on it, you'll be hypnotized. Most women are potentially hypnotizing. So don't glorify one until you think she's the only one who has female anatomy. The female anatomy, FA, is a constant. You can go back to physics to remind yourself. This is a constant. Let me stop falling for constants. Let me check for the real thing. Oh my, Joannick, you don't know what it takes for a woman to build herself to a resourceful wife. Bro, can I tell you? A woman must have been on a self journey of acquiring skills. Africa Inland Church teaches women crocheting, making bed, cleaning compound, washing their body, folding garment, ironing. When they do those classes for young girls, they really teach one. I hope they keep that, because that is one place I saw, and I whispered to myself, I would like to marry an AIC girl back there, because they were being taught. Then there are things they say, they swear, they have their vows. So they vow about purity. They promise themselves to live a certain way, and I liked that structure. You know, I was coming from these other churches that are very fiery, but the structure is not as good.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fire, very little structure. This guy said a systematic camp, training, book, curriculum. And I said, you know what? If a person takes this seriously, actually can take them far in life.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good stuff. You know? It takes about 5 years for a woman studying those kind of things to learn home management. She's modern, you know, she doesn't have to like cooking, you know, we can outsource that. I just wanted to be my companion, you know. We are more postmodern people, so I don't care too much about the first need of a man psychologically is domestic support. Don't move ancient boundaries, bro. The first need psychologically in love is domestic. Domestic support is the silly things I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Somebody make sure his shoes are wiped. You know, guys come home with muddy shoes and they forget about the shoe until he needs to wear them certain day.
Yes.
And he has no time and the shoe is full of mud. Do you know guys watch over their cars more than they watch over their clothes? What is bigger?
It is meant for you.
You know, he knows when the car needs attention more than the trousers that was torn. One minister was caught with the torn socks, and it was scandalous. Some cameras managed to see a yawning socks. So they took the blame to the wife because they're coming from the domestic support. So it takes a lot of work for a woman to prepare to be a wife.
Yeah.
Bro, I told you one disqualifier that you must never forget. When you see a woman who has just been having boyfriends sleeping around for the last 10 years, run for the hills. Don't marry. Whether she got a child out of it or not, she has not taken the pilgrimage to prepare to be a resourceful woman. Not. It takes almost something equivalent to a religious retreat. Tell you the truth. A woman who is equipped to be loyal to you, think with you, stay, babysit a child. Most people want child, but even if you are not also one child, there's something else you want that is equivalent to a dream that is being babysitted. You have something to mold. Be patient during rough times. If there's a gift our women give us, is to be patient when things are not working. And that is not natural. My friend. That is not natural. To continue believing in me when we have evidence that it's not working, and 2 months go, 3 months go, 6 months, a year, another year. Most women will run.
Yeah.
Bro, if she has not undergone that level of seasoning, and I'm not saying she must be an experienced wife. She is not married, of course, but the single days of her she spent just making us more money and living within our means. That alone is such a hard thing. Women are used to just being given money by men. can't live within the means. They feel entitled to a life they have not earned. If you just go with that criteria alone, I tell you the truth. Some people ghost you because they wanted fun. They wanted a story of love, romance. You wanted a story of life.
Yeah. And there's something you mentioned earlier on, that these people can't be able to almost have a sit down with you, like when it comes to closure, because there's someone who, after ghosting, they'll be like, I want to reach out and get closure, so how long should I wait? They've ghosted me for a week. Should I seek for closure, or wait for a month, wait for 2 months? How should I go about it?
Once people show you that they're not available anymore, give yourself the closure. Accept that they don't have the maturity, and don't hold your life. Pretend that you have already been apologized for and accept the apology and move on. Sometimes in life you have to accept apologies you never received, because the people who should give them don't have the capacity to give them.
Right.
So the thing you are saying is, don't wait. Simply close the chapter with your own means. Forgive. And when they come back, they find you that you have nothing pending. Tell them, I accepted your action. Please continue the life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. And I'd like to capture something from this wonderful book, How to Recognize and Deal with Toxic Relationships. It's a wonderful, like it's a book that you can read over and over again. and you, it's almost like the Bible. You discover something that you are like, did I read this last time I read? It's
Correct.
quite something. And chapter 3 of this book, talks about ghost lovers.
Yes.
And I think I mentioned this earlier on, and it's quite interesting. And allow me to read this. It says, the first type are those people who will build a relationship with you through talking and getting emotionally attached to each other. But the moment you plan a physical meeting, they dodge and stop communicating. Then the next day, they make up excuses and try to pick up as if nothing happened. These ones, I call them floating lovers, because they only want to hover about your life and never to land and build anything concrete.
They love the fantasy of the feelings and making you dream and bringing the idea of love without working the reality of love, because many of them know they have a flaw you would notice.
Right.
They have put false images on internet, or they're giving you too much makeup or something, or they pretend to have money. There's something you will crack. Or they're not available. They could have another person. They're just using this virtual stimulation to make you fall in love. When they meet, they just strike, hit. You consume your money, consume your resources, you take advantage of you. So these floating people want to activate your feelings by remote control, and so that when they come, they just harvest. We said, particularly for brothers, when you feel like you're falling in love, arrange a meeting quickly so that you can pin things to reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very well said. And I think this is absolutely awesome, because you find that there's so many people who get caught up.
Yes.
I think the right word is caught up, because you keep holding on to that promise of something that you saw would happen.
We wrote the toxic relationship book to show you that unpredictable anxious element, how to deal with it. I think those who have done that should get this book.
Yes.
It will help them know when it has moved from a promising connection to a destabilizing influence.
Right.
That's what we are calling toxic relationship.
Right.
Destabilizing influence in your life. Yes.
Absolutely amazing. So please, for this and more, grab yourself a copy of this wonderful book, How to Recognize and Deal with Toxic Relationships. You can find this on www.benjaminzuluglobal.com, and that will be in order. Thank you so much for your time today. See you next time.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome